Welcome, everyone. This is Coffee with a Founder. Sometimes we drink coffee, sometimes not. Sometimes we're in a VC office and we're drinking Perrier. Hey, this is what we're doing. I'm Beck and we do this show or I do this show because we want to hear from founders who are venture backed of what it's like to be building a venture backed company. And frankly, why are they doing it? Because it's kind of an insane thing. With us today is Philip Merrick. He's the co founder and CEO of pgEdge. We're going to be talking to him about, why you're doing this, Philip. Why are we in the edge space, of course, and what's going on as it relates to optimizing the network to reduce data latency and whatnot. So, first, thank you for being here. How's it going?
It is going great, and thank you so much for having me on here. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Yes, we always have fun time. Okay, before we get into more of you running this whole startup and such, give us a snapshot on PG Edge.
So, pgEdge is in the business of building and marketing a fully distributed implementation of the highly popular open source Postgres database. When we
Mm-hmm.
say fully distributed, we mean you can have literal copies of your database and the database server at different points on the network, and that allows you to solve really for the speed of light. Uh,
Yeah,
so it allows you to shorten the amount of time that requests take because they're not having to go along such a long wire. They can go to a local copy or a relatively local copy of the database. It
mm-hmm.
also makes your system that much more performant and reliable, getting to very high levels of availability. So if you've got multiple redundant copies of the database,
Mm,
if one of them goes down for some reason, cloud outage,
yeah,
network fiber cut, well,
no problem.
that's no problem. Yep.
Mm-hmm. How big of a problem is this?
Uh, we think it's a significant problem, and it's only getting more acute. So if you
Mm,
think about how we as consumers of applications expect those applications to be always on, always
exactly.
available,
Yeah,
always
exactly.
responsive,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
This is how you deliver on that promise.
Okay. And for you, you've been at various larger stage companies, and you've built. You had your own Billbury partners, right? For just a second, so you were consulting. You've been a board member. But you've done a bunch of things. Philip, what made you decide? Okay, I got to build this now. This is what I got to invest my time into because it's been now 3+ years that you've been at it.
Yes, it has. So, first of all, what I've done primarily over most of my career is be a serial entrepreneur
Yeah,
and CEO. So this is actually startup number six for me.
I
Uh,
see that.
so, uh,
Yeah,
so,
you had
so if you
Sparkpost,
have
you had Fuge. Yep. Mm-hmm.
uh, in the way back, Web Methods, which we built into a public company, and I was a public company CEO for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So quite a bit of experience at multiple stages, and I must be truly, if you have to be insane to be a founder, then I must be truly insane at this point.
You just have
But
founderitis. It's totally fine.
founderitis,
You
exactly.
just keep coming back. You keep doing it.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. But what attracted me and my co-founder to building pgEdge at this time, or at least
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, was the fact that while this Postgres database has taken off and it is the most popular choice among developers for a database to back their applications,
Hmm.
there was no distributed option for it. But that's something you can get from the legacy databases like Oracle and Microsoft SQL Server and NoSQL databases, and pretty much every other database in the market had a distributed option. Postgres did not have a sensible distributed option. People were thinking about edge applications. AI was starting to take off. And as you think about deploying AI applications on a truly global basis, you actually need to think about how can you get the results of the AI application, the decisions, the inferences, how can you get those closer to the users? And so that was the impetus for wanting to start pgEdge.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And now you said sixth, fifth. We're at number six now. This is the sixth
Number
company.
six, yes.
Okay. What have you learned now in number six that you hadn't used before in four, five, or three?
Oh my goodness. Four, five, or
Mm-hmm.
three, that's very
Yeah.
specific. Uh, so,
Or
uh,
one. We
yeah.
could roll it back all the
Uh,
way to that too. Yeah.
so I'm a technologist, a software developer by background, and initially I thought that it was all of, having a successful tech company was all about the technology. Technology is absolutely important, but what's really important are the people behind it. And I think as a technologist, that's something that I had to learn and go from orchestrating the bits and the bytes to
Yeah.
really figuring out how to collaborate with people, how to
Hmm.
motivate people, how to align people to a set of goals and then drive toward those goals. And so I wouldn't say it's something that has been a revelation with number six that wasn't available to me before, but
Yeah.
it's been a growing appreciation along that spectrum.
Mm. So the people matter completely. And
Oh, absolutely.
for you, now having done it so many times, is it the people that you get to work with again that is important, or that you have longer relationships with, or how would you describe that?
Yeah. Oh, actually, in this company, pgEdge, very fortunate to get to work with some colleagues from prior companies,
Yeah.
and I think having that prior history and that shared history is really really helpful. But you also want to get some new DNA in as well and mix things up a little bit, which is what we've been able to do here.
Hmm. I feel that it is such an underrated aspect of building a company, that you get to do it one with people you enjoy, but then
Mhm.
even with people you get to go at it again with. There's such a joy to that. I like bringing the band back together for some people with
Exactly.
founders and stuff, and that's such
Exactly.
a like a life thing, because building anything is hard. Building a startup is particularly hard, and you can do it with people you really enjoy is such a joy then in life, frankly, that I don't think a lot of people talk about. Just like building stuff that you love again with people you enjoy over a long haul period. So,
Yeah, yeah, and that's I think at this point what I really enjoy the most about doing a startup. It's getting to collaborate with a bunch of people that you appreciate, and if you if you don't appreciate each other, then something has to
yeah,
change.
it's a, yeah,
But
something, yeah,
getting to do something significant with people you enjoy working with, collaborating with, and then seeing it be successful, seeing it build into something
right?
significant, that that gives you a joy and a satisfaction that other than maybe raising a family is difficult to
Okay,
replicate anywhere else.
I am glad you feel exactly. I wanted to like I haven't been on an episode yet like this where someone's making the line of like it is so fun building something with people you enjoy and
Yes,
respect and have a great
yes,
time with. And
yes,
yes, there are a few things in life other than, maybe building a family, building a building, I don't know. Uh that has that joy to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and
And I
and
don't
and
think a
that
lot of
and that's
people
the
talk
right
about
word.
this. Yeah, go
Joy
ahead.
is the right word. And I think one of the prep questions that you kindly sent me
Yes,
was
yes. Had
what's your favorite
philosophical questions.
emotion?
Oh, yes. Why is
And
your
and I
favorite?
think
What is your favorite
uh,
emotion and why?
and and my favorite emotion is joy. It's that
Hmm.
deep-seated satisfaction. It's not happiness is different from joy. Happiness is ephemeral, and it comes from
Yes.
things
Yes.
like what's the weather like today, and other things that you don't have control over. But
Yeah.
joy comes from building things and investing in things, whether it's your faith, your company, your family. That's where joy comes from.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Agreed. Agreed. So, on the flip side of that, though, Philip, is a lot of pain and suffering, as NVIDIA's CEO likes to remind us of. I wish you pain and suffering. So, how do you balance? Okay, you have joy, but then you also have just the hard days or the hard moments, and you're like, God, this does suck.
Oh, I never have those.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah. Watch my nose go really low.
Yep.
No,
Mm-hmm.
you are absolutely going to have tough days, and every startup founder knows that there are many
Mm,
of them, and there are many setbacks. But the joy isn't possible without having overcome the setbacks.
yes, you have
that's
to have
that's
both.
partly
Hmm.
where that satisfaction comes from. Is you and your team persisted and you worked through these difficult times together,
Hmm.
and if it was all easy, then you wouldn't have that joy and that satisfaction at the end. And it
So
never is
true.
easy. I don't think
Yes.
I've ever talked to a founder where they said, well, that was pretty easy.
Yeah, no, said nobody ever. So yeah, exactly. Which goes back to why you got to have real great people that you're cranking
Hmm.
along with that you enjoy, because there's going to be a lot of not joy going on, big
Hmm.
time. Hmm.
Yep. Yep.
For you, Philip, one of my favorite questions asking to ask people on here is, what have you changed your mind on recently?
Relatively recently, I would
Hmm.
say AI, and that's maybe something that everybody's going to want to talk about right now, of course. But I did my computer science degree a million years ago,
Yeah.
and AI was a thing then. I actually did some slight specialization in my final year in what was then the AI technology, and no, it didn't work particularly well, and
Yeah.
I was very skeptical of it, and remained skeptical of it for a very long time. And then, well, ChatGPT, and before ChatGPT, some other things came along, but ChatGPT obviously was the big one. It's like, oh, okay, well, there is finally something here with this.
Yeah.
There's actually something meaningful you can get out of this, and it is actually working at some level.
Mm.
But I was still skeptical. It's like, well, it's just like sort of you know um, pattern recognition and statistical
Hmm.
analysis, and really it's just autocomplete on steroids. So ChatGPT is just like a massive autocomplete was sort of my initial take on it. But as I've worked to integrate AI into more of the work that I do, uh, I've really had to change my opinion, and
Huh.
I'm a coder at heart, although nobody would want to pay me to do software
Yes,
development these days.
exactly. Yes.
But I was hearing about this vibe coding thing, and just letting the AI rip and generate a whole application uh, for you in a single prompt. It's like, well, no, that can't be real. But I have a pet project that I want to work on as a side gig, and so I tried it out with Claude Code recently, and I was shocked at the results.
Hmm. Shocked in a good way.
Oh yeah, yeah, very positive way.
Okay. Okay. So your previous take was like, okay, this AI stuff, man, maybe, but now you're a believer. You're with it. You're on it.
Yeah, yeah, but that's in the context of having been in this industry a very long time,
Very much
and
so. Yeah.
and the idea. Well, you don't have to say it quite so strongly,
Yeah.
but the idea of AI being the next thing, it was going to be the next thing for 40 years, and then
Years. Years. Yeah.
all of a
Yeah.
sudden,
Now it's
it
here.
actually was. All of a
But you
sudden,
know
it
what?
is.
I'm so glad you bring that up, because I was reading this on some blog or some podcast, whatnot. It's just like this, there is clunkiness and chunkiness to tech innovation. It's like nothing, 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 nothing for so long, and then boom, there's like an explosion of it. Whereas perhaps in the outside world or whatever, looking into the tech thing, it's like, oh, it's always fast, it's always going, and everything. It's like, no, innovation can be so slow as molasses until something kind of breaks through, and then there's generation, and then it builds and it kind of flowers. But man, yes, can it take forever, seemingly is what you basically, I feel that you're conveying to some
Yeah,
extent.
yeah, and
And it's
I think that.
bad also when it starts, like it's not good. It's not
Uh,
good.
Oh yeah,
It's nasty.
everything starts out being relatively crude, uh,
Yes.
and it's not until it gets to a point where it can deliver some real value for some task that
Yeah.
people care about.
Yeah.
But I think all technology development follows this path.
Hmm.
You don't have a lot of things that come out fully formed, and it's this constant iteration, this
Hmm.
constant slow progress. But then when you add up all the slow progress, it becomes something
No, it does
quite
accelerate.
major.
Yes,
Uh,
gosh.
but if I'm fascinated by the story of Nvidia and what they've been able to do. But it was something like 12 or 14 years ago that Jensen Huang and his head of
Right.
research recognized that machine learning was literally going to change the world. And so they started investing all those years ago in taking their gaming chips and repurposing them for machine learning.
Hmm. Also with OpenAI, that was years in the making too. I mean, that's the other thing is
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
again, There's such, I think, a facade in just the tech perception of just like, oh my gosh, overnight success. Like there's no overnight successes. It is
Yeah,
literally hours and compounding days and years and so forth. And then there's the
absolutely.
explosion, which I think is so fun. Mm,
Yeah, it's
mm.
overnight success, years in the making. Yeah.
Oh, exactly, exactly. How do you take that concept into your own approach with building your current company, pgEdge?
um,
You're laughing.
so
I'll be here for 10 years.
no, no, no.
No,
Well,
you're like,
so
please no, please no.
so uh, I don't know where I came across this, but somebody or something impressed upon me years ago that a CEO, a tech startup CEO, needs to be long-term patient and short-term impatient, and
Yes.
so you have to have that long-term vision of where you want to get to,
Mhm.
but then you've
Mhm.
got to be iterating on those small steps to get
Mhm.
to that. I'm a big fan of OKRs, objectives and key
Oh, me
results,
too. Me too.
and the beauty of doing that, and it's not a highfalutin systematic approach. It's a very simple approach, but the beauty of it is you have your long-term objectives and you have your short-term measurable key results, which
Mhm.
give you that iterative step forward towards that
Mhm.
long-term objective.
Mhm. I'm also a fan. It hasn't been maybe been as popularized, but we're using this more in BAM of, okay, I cannot control outputs. I cannot completely, but I can control inputs. And so I can do these 8 inputs. Let's say I do the things and then I assess what the outputs are. Did it achieve what I want with the outputs? Okay, do I need to toggle something, tweak something, etc.? And so having more of a framework around that can be very helpful. So I like your point on though, just the short-term impatience and very long-term patience, indeed. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How did you go about finding your co-founder?
Co-founder in this business,
Yes, this one. Yes.
we were co-founders in a prior business, also a prior
Oh,
Postgres
I
database
didn't see that
business.
on my notes. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually, one of the early original companies that grew up to help develop Postgres, Enterprise DB. My co-founder and I started that
Mm,
uh, 20 odd years ago.
mm.
Enterprise DB is still probably the largest independent company in this Postgres ecosystem.
Ah,
Uh, uh, Now owned by Bain Capital. Uh, but we had met.
funny enough, I
Uh,
was just at their offices 2 hours ago. Perfect. Yep.
oh,
Small
really?
world. Oh yeah, we were doing an event
um,
there. Yeah.
oh, cool,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, they have nice offices.
they
Uh,
do.
so, uh, so my co-founder and I originally met, good gosh, in the 90s when
Uh-huh.
we were young green software developers working for the same software company in New
Uh-huh.
York City.
Uh-huh. God. And so okay, from the 90s and you did this one company, it's now owned by Bain. Okay. When did you like call up to say, "Hey, you want to do this now?"
Uh, this being, sorry.
Oh, the current company where you're back
Oh,
again. The band's back
oh,
together.
yeah. Uh, we stayed in touch as friends over the years and compared notes on things. And it was really through comparing notes on where we saw the industry going, back 3, 4 years ago, that
Mhm.
we got the idea for what is now pgEdge. And it turned out my co-founder had already been working on some tech to address this Postgres distributed database problem, and so we were able to piggyback on his what had been his side project for a few years.
Mm, mm, mm. I love it. Mm. And when was the conversation serious? When it was like, "Are we going to do this? Let's do it."
So that was I guess spring 3 years ago, 22.
Okay. But what was like the convo or what happened?
So I was uh, I was getting more and more interested in truly distributed architectures, the idea that you could push uh, presentation, compute, and the data layer all the way out to the edge, whether that's for AI applications or more general, pedestrian enterprise type applications or web applications. I was really intrigued with that, uh, and was starting to look into the distributed database problem, even though, as I said earlier, there were a lot of examples of it out there. And figured like, hey, you ought to be able to do this with Postgres, and remembered my good friend Dennis Lucia and I had started Enterprise DB together,
Mm.
and we'd remained in touch. Like, so I called him up, hey Dennis, what do you think about this? He's like, well, by coincidence, I've been working on this as a
I'm
side
already
project.
working on that. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so you already
Mm,
were in the realms of each other. You didn't even just know it. Oh, I love that. Mm. And here you are, 4 almost years later, cranking
hmm
along.
right.
What's your goal for this particular company? And then
Uh,
that'll wrap us up for today. Yes.
the goal for this company is to really provide developers with a solid range of options for deploying their database applications globally,
Mm-hmm.
with all the things we talked about earlier, high performance, high availability, low latency, fast response times, and to be able to provide them, an entry point when they're getting started
Mm-hmm.
with their applications, to be able to scale to, bazillions of users around the world. And so that's our
Mm,
goal. And building a great company with great people behind that.
mm-hmm. Mm. I love it. We need to end it there, Philip. Great people behind it. Great people that you want to work with for hopefully many startups and
Exactly.
iterations.
Exactly. Yes.
This you're living the dream that I have of just like, hey, let's come back together. Let's do the next thing. I'm in a couple of that with Jared, who I'm working with One Pitch, and then BAM people who I'm on this wonderful campaign with. Gosh, it is the joy of life, as you mentioned. Mm,
Indeed, it is.
mm. Well, Philip Merrick, he's co-founder and CEO of pgEdge. Thanks for chatting with me today, Philip. This was lovely. May other people find the joy in working with people they really enjoy / respect to build great things in the world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Philip.